University, the voice of Reichman University.
The Baseline. Stories from the court with Jonathan Rears and Nitzan Aron.
What's going on, everyone? This is the Baseline Podcast. We're back at it again. It's Jonathan Rears here with our co-host Nitzan Aron. We got Wesley Harris in the building today.
How y'all doing, folks? What's up? What's up?
Thank you for coming in, man.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yes, sir. As we've been starting the most recent episodes, we're going to just go right into it with a heavy icebreaker. What's the first assumption people make about your overseas career that's just completely wrong?
Oh my God!
Started off hot. We told you.
It's the famous one, bro. They think the life is so easy and so cool and just ice cream. You know what I mean? They just think it's all sweet, and I'm just like, brother, it's not. Around this time, from that August to December, that's probably the toughest time, honestly, of the year, because like you got most of the big holidays with your family and stuff like that, and like. You miss the fam, bro. You just miss the fam. Thanksgiving, Christmas, kids, like you miss everybody.
The little things.
Nah, man, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that like around this time of year is like when it really starts to hit.
No, most definitely. Like I said, you got the holidays, man, and like the FaceTime, it just doesn't do it, bro. Like playing with your cousins, playing with your kids, playing with your little brothers, like it's man, you miss it, bro. You miss it. And not to say that like the people that you're around in whatever country you're in doesn't make it seem homey, but it's just not the same. Like, we can talk all day, like, and they can check on me all day long, but, like, I miss hugging my mom, you know what I mean? I miss hugging my grandma, miss going to family dinners, you know what I mean? It's just stuff like that. You just can't replace it with nothing. Can't replace it with nothing. So that's probably the biggest misconception.
No doubt. And, you had a great college career and you've been all over the world playing the game you love. We're going to get into all of it.
Yeah.
Nitzan's going to run through where you've been.
So real quick, we're going to run through, just introduce to the listeners a little bit about you. You're from Jackson, Mississippi.
Correct.
You went and played 2 years at JUCO. Then you went high major West Virginia University. Go Mountaineers. Go Mountaineers.
Appreciate you,
Then
brother.
Tennessee State. Then you went pro over at Cyprus, Romania, Slovakia, Poland, back to Romania, and now you're playing with Haifa in Israel.
Yeah.
Hell of a career so far.
Man, I think I heard somebody call me a vet this summer, and I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. I'm actually transferring into vet status now.
Yeah, some of my
first, I
friends
was a
call me
young guy.
Unc, and I'm like, damn. You
feel me? Like, so yeah, it's crazy, brother. But it's been a wild journey, and I'm very appreciative for it and the blessings that God gave me.
So take us all the way back to the beginning. The start of your basketball journey. Where did this love of the sport come from?
In the driveway, man. In the driveway in Jackson, Mississippi, in Washington, D.C. I was just playing for fun. Like, I would go to the park. I would go to Battlefield Park and just play basketball with my brother, go out there with my mom, and, like, we'll just have fun, play with some of the older guys in the neighborhood. And, I mean, I was a football player at first, you know what I mean? So sports was always, like, I was always drawn to sports and physical activities. But at a certain point in time, basketball just became, like, so – I wanted to get better at it, you know what I mean? It came so easily, so I was just like, you know what, this is what I fell in love with, and that's what I stuck with.
We got a QB in the house today.
Oh, you were QB?
I played quarterback as a kid.
Damn, all right.
I played a lot of different positions in football. I guess they was kind of trying to move me around to see what I was best at, but I played quarterback, I've played wide receiver, I've played DN. They even threw me at, like, strong safety for a little bit, like in middle school.
Was there a moment where you wanted to pursue the football instead of basketball?
There was, and up until like 9th grade when I got cracked in practice, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to basketball.
Sometimes getting hit really teaches you some things.
It just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
After a while, it just didn't make sense, bro. Like, no disrespect to the football players, but I'd rather go play basketball.
So you end up playing basketball, play in high school, and the Division I offers maybe didn't come, or I don't know what happened there. You ended up going to play JUCO. So going to play JUCO, what was that like? Taking it out from like it's a grind,
right.
And everyone's got to go get their own too.
No, for sure.
So talk about going to JUCO and what that's like for an individual player.
Honestly, going to JUCO is it's not for everybody, but if you're built for it, it really says a lot about your character and your drive and your mental. You know what I mean? Because junior college is kind of like that in between. That's that gray area. Like, you're not in high school anymore, but you're not in Power 5 college or like whatever college you dreamed of going to. You know what I mean? So like it's that middle where you don't have the funds, you don't have the resources, but you still have to make a way. And you don't have anyone providing for you. You know what I mean? Like we had CAF and we had meal plans and stuff like that, but obviously like 2 meals a day, you're still going to be hungry. You're an athlete playing basketball, morning, noon.
You need 5 meals.
You know what I mean? You need your meals. So it's a grind, bro. And like you really see who's your support system, and your support system is very, very important. Luckily for me, I had my mom, my grandmother, my stepfather, brothers, sisters. So like I had people like cheering me on and being there for me when I needed them.
How far away was the JUCO from home?
It was like 3 hours, and it was still in Mississippi, so I wasn't too far from home. I would go home every weekend.
What was one thing about JUCO? You did JUCO for 2 years.
Yeah, I did JUCO.
Same JUCO?
No, so the first year I went to Northeast Mississippi, and I transferred there my second year and went to a school in Alabama called Lawson State Community College. So
being closer to home your first year of JUCO, what made it a little bit more difficult being a little further in Alabama?
Honestly, I didn't really at the time. I didn't really think too much of it because it was like 3 hours from my first year. Was 3 hours away, and then my second year I was like 2.5. So I would still go home like almost every weekend.
So you were closer to home in the second year?
Relatively.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And then JUCO, you know, it's so hard, and we talk about the grind. You gotta really stick out. So what stuck out the most for you during your time in JUCO?
Like as a player or like in my experience?
On and off the court.
For me, it was just it was learning to actually balance that sport, like that athlete and student, like that student athlete deal. Like it was very, very tough, and actually finding out like having a grind to go get extra work in. Like in between classes, I probably had like maybe 35, 40 minutes until my next class, but I will always go to the gym and just get on the shooting machine for like 25 minutes. Finish, and I'll go to class, and honestly it all translated into my game, and that's how I started sticking out. So I felt like it really, like I said, it just gives a testament to like what you need to do as an athlete to make it to where you want to go in this great area. You know what I mean? Where
did this work ethic and this drive come from originally?
I would say it came from like my mom always told me like if you want something you got to work for it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And coming from where I'm from, and it's either this or that, and I chose basketball because I knew where the other lifestyle would get me. So I'm like, all right, I want to go play basketball. I want to go do something with my life.
With JUCO being such a grind, and as you said, you know, being from where you're from and having the ups and the downs and the hardships, was there a moment there where you said, this isn't for me, or were you always saying, I'm going to get that D1 offer, I'm going to keep going?
So in high school, I had this coach, right? His name was David Sanders. I had two coaches. They're actually notable coaches in Mississippi. My first one was Wayne Brent, and my second one was David Sanders. And I had a good relationship with Wayne Brent, but I was kind of young, and I was kind of like towards the more end of the bench than when he was coaching. But then when David came, it was kind of like I was more like this was my time. And like he really like pushed me. Like there was one time I had to do summer school because I wasn't performing in the classroom like I was supposed to, and he paid for my summer school. You know what I mean? Like he really like gave me the drive, and like he'll pull me to the side when I'm like having like bad days in school and be like, yo, you need to get right, you know what I mean? You really got a chance to do this and do that. So it was kind of the same thing that I had in junior college. Like they were just pushing me like to, you know, stay focused. And eventually they didn't have to tell me. It was kind of like just stuck in my head. And that's just how I kind of stuck with the grind and just did what I needed to do and locked in and to get to where I wanted to go.
That's a beautiful thing. Shout out, Coach.
Oh, for sure. Shout out, Coach. Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, you end up getting that WVU offer. You go to West Virginia. Was there other offers coming in? What stuck out about West Virginia when you went there?
Man, I'll say what stuck out for West Virginia was their effort. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm come from Jackson, Mississippi, and it's not very usual you see nice things. You know what I mean? When it comes to like facilities or like treatments or like whatever. So like they were really like pushing me to do good in school and making like calling me every week like, hey, how you doing? Like, you good? How's your classes going? Even when I'm in junior college, right? And they came and got me. Actually, I had a jamboree game in junior college. This was probably like in, I want to say like September or maybe October. And we left the jamboree game. Like they came and got me like off the court, like halftime. I didn't even finish the game. They came and got me like, yo, we're going for your visit, and went to West Virginia. And they showed me all the nice, shiny everything, and I was like, yo, like this is where I'm going. So I had offers coming in, but West Virginia was so persistent, and they came and like scooped me up first. So it was just kind of like, all right, this is where I'm going. I had like Texas Tech offers and interest. I had a few schools, man. I had Wichita State. I had a few schools, but I didn't really get to see what all would come like in abundance from like schools, because I made my decision so fast. I went on one visit and I was like, all right, this is where I'm going.
Did y'all talk about the time that you would get on the court going in? Yeah,
so they had a very, very like good four-man. Name was Nathan Adrian. That's who I was replacing, and everyone in West Virginia loves Nate Adrian. Like, you can Google him now and you can just see like how much they love him. And like, so he was a senior when I was coming in. So like, that was my coach was telling me like, yeah, you're gonna replace him, and we're expecting big things out of you. You know what I mean? From the get-go, like, I need you to come in, work hard, and I need you to be at the top of the press, because we pressed for 40 minutes. So I had a big responsibility.
This is Coach Huggins, right?
Yeah, Coach Huggins.
Legend.
Yeah. So he let me know from the door like, yeah, like, this is what I need you to do, and you're gonna do it. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, if you want to play, you're gonna do it.
I want to go into that a little bit. You know, not all the time do we get people who play for such a legend like Coach Huggins.
Right.
What was that impact that he made on you?
Coach Huggins, man. Coach Huggins he's a very misunderstood guy. Means well. He's very hard nosed, and I feel like he's the reason that I can play for like European coaches now, because a lot of people aren't used to the, I guess you say, like, the hard coaching style, like the cussing you out every day, the yelling, and the, I guess, just the hard coaching style or whatever. So I feel like Coach Huggins really just taught me how to take everything, like, listen to what's being said and not how it's being said. You know what I mean? He taught me great defensive principles that I use still to this day. That's why I'm so versatile. I can play both sides of the floor, and I just feel like if I could play for Coach Huggins, I could play for anybody. So
you get to West Virginia. You get there from JUCO. You're playing for a legend like Coach Huggins.
Alongside Javon Carter, too.
Alongside Javon Carter. Wow, your guys' defense must have been crazy. Holy shit. Wow. But you two together, damn. So at JUCO, it was really just ball. Once you get to a Division I program like West Virginia, what was the life balance like? What was it like, the whole experience?
They honestly made it very easy, brother. Like, I can't really say that it was harder. Like, we had all the resources we need. We had tutors. We had academic advisors. We had study hall every day for at least an hour. I had this lovely, lovely lady named Miss Ann. She was my personal academic advisor, and I would go to her every day for study hall. And on days where I'm like, yo, Miss Ann, I ain't doing this, she's like, nah, we're doing this. And we'll stay in there till God knows how long until I, like, got it done. So, like, shout out to Miss Ann. But, yeah, like, they had all the resources for me, so it really wasn't even hard.
And then being at West Virginia, you play 38 games your first year. Your second year, you played 22 games. What happened there? Did you have an injury or something like that?
No, so my second year, it was – the second year my West Virginia was a hard year. I was not in a great place mentally. You know what I mean? I was making a bunch of off-the-court mistakes, and basically I was let's just say taking money off the table for myself, not for the team, but I was just taking money off the table for myself, and I just got I had to go somewhere else, I had to move around.
And then you do move around. You go over to Tennessee State. That's the following year, you know, and you actually, you produce, you're playing 32 minutes a game. This is the most you've been playing. How did that take an effect on your body?
I don't really think it took a toll on my body per se. I mean, I was just playing ball. It just felt good to be out there and being able to play offensively and defensively. You know what I mean? Just have the confidence from my coach to tell me, yo, like, you can go play, go be comfortable. And it was my last year in college, so, like, it's like, all right, this is all or nothing now. Like, it's either you gonna do it or you ain't. Like, 'cause we're still trying to get to the next level. You know what I mean? So I really didn't think about the toll on my body. I still had the resources. We still lifted. We still had trainers. We still had ice. We still had everything. So,
you know, you talked about how your second year at West Virginia was a really tough year personally. How important was it for you to find a program like Tennessee State that was there and specifically comforting for you?
Actually, it was very important for me. Because Brian Collins, like, he recruited me after he found out after I entered the transfer portal, and he just, like, he was just there for me. Like, he was there on the court, but also off the court. You know what I mean? Like, he was there for me when I needed him most. You know what I mean? For unbasketball related things, he was still like a mentor to me too.
Was there something about being at this bigger school that there was just so many distractions off the court as well? Being at West Virginia your second year?
No, it wasn't. I won't say it was the distractions off the court. It was just I was still learning life lessons.
Definitely.
I was still learning life lessons, and growing up, you know what I mean, a single mother of 4 kids, you know what I mean, and I'm the oldest, like, you need both parents, you know what I mean? So some things I didn't know, some things I had to learn on my own, and I was also hard-headed as a kid. So, like, I had to bump my head a few times just to understand this lesson that I need to learn, you know what I mean? So
For sure.
that's pretty much what it was.
People get mistaken that, like, these D1 athletes are also 19 years old, 20 years old.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a learning curve, you know?
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
And also, so many times it's like literally you're watching people grow up in front of your eyes. Like, there are so many eyes in the spotlight on a person
Definitely.
that you forget that that person is learning a life lesson. Just because they're doing it in front of us does not mean it's not a life lesson for them, you know?
No, yeah, that's, I mean, like you said, the biggest misconception is we're just athletes, and that's just not the case, bro. We're still human. We still go through problems, whether it's family, financially, mentally, athletically, you know what I mean? Like, we still go home at the end of the day. You know what I mean? After we play for however many minutes, 40 minutes or whatever, we still go home at the end of the day, and we still have real world problems.
And 1,000%. But being home in the States, you know, now it's time for your pro career. So you're going to leave the States and you're going to go overseas. So what went into that? What was that off season like after your senior year of college? And when were you kind of like, all right, now I'm ready to go play ball? I see that there was a year in between as well. Is that correct?
When?
In between Tennessee State and Cyprus.
Yeah, so I went to Egypt my first year.
Egypt?
Yeah. So
okay.
season obviously starts on where you leave and go around like August. I went that COVID year, so I left in like December, like a week or two before Christmas. And honestly, I didn't know what to expect. And honestly, like, I'm like, what, 20, 23, something like that, 22. And like, for me, it was just, I was culture shocked when I went to Egypt. Like, I was first time out of the country, living out of the country. So like it was just about the grind beforehand.
How many foreigners were you in Egypt?
It was just me.
It was just
Damn.
you?
It was just me, Dolo.
Oh, that's
It was
tough.
just me, Dolo. And like, it was, like I said, brother, it was tough, man. It was a learning experience. And yeah, we thugged it out.
So what went into your decision to go overseas and maybe not try for the G League route or something like that?
So I didn't, again, like, I learned a lot of things on my own, right? So coming out of college, I thought that if you didn't have like a 20-8, 20-9 average, like, you couldn't go to the league. Like, it was like I didn't waste no chances, because I'm used to in college or in high school, like, college coaches came to me. You know what I mean? They came and found me, like, yo, like, woo, this is what we want to do. Like, we see you here, we see you there. After college, my last year, like, I thought I was doing well, but I didn't have anyone like saying like, oh, like, agents coming up to me and say like, hey, I think you should try for this, I think you should try for that. Like, so I thought like, okay, maybe I need to go overseas and do a little, you know what I mean, still prove myself and let them know like the image that I made for myself my last year at West Virginia is not the same me. So I felt like I had to go overseas to prove myself again, fix my image as well, and, you know what I mean, just try later on. I feel like my path was my path.
So now you do go overseas. You get off that plane. You're far from home.
Right.
You're all by yourself.
Right.
Really all by yourself. There's no foreigners.
No facts.
You know, how hard was that mentally to be there? And was there a certain point where you like, all right, I don't know if this overseas thing's for me?
Nah, brother. It was never any doubt about if I could handle the overseas things, because when I got off the plane, when I got home, I immediately called the fam. Like, I was on the phone with the fam all day, every day. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like I said, it's not the same, but at least being able to call and, like, talk on FaceTime and, like, have conversations and laugh and kind of take myself out of mentally where I really am physically, it was okay. Like I dealt with it pretty fine. It was more so the professionalism for the organization I was playing for that was kind of tough for me.
Yeah, what was the off the court like in Egypt?
It was it was different, man. It was different. I was expecting things to look kind of modern, like how it is in the States, up to date, and it just wasn't the case. Everything was kind of very traditional, very old. So I was expecting certain things to move a certain way, and it's just not how it moved out there. Like I said, it's just a cultural difference.
Right.
So you play in Egypt, it's a crazy time. Then you go over to Cyprus, and in Cyprus you put up numbers, 23 and 12. Like you really start hooping.
37 minutes a game.
37 minutes a game. You're fucking killing it over there.
Right.
What went into that? What made that leap?
It was just honestly the work that I put in, the work that I've been putting in for a long time. Like when I tell my younger kids that I train at home, like you have to actually be obsessed with the game and work on the game, and it has to be something that you really like spend time with doing. You might not be able to go out with your friends. You may not be able to go do this and do that, do the fun things at 15, 16, 17 years old that everyone else is doing, but it's for a greater cause. And I feel like that year was a year like my whole bag was just coming out because they gave me the ball and it was like rock out, and I was like, all right, bet.
Now, how many foreigners were you there with?
So we were supposed to have 3. My big man got injured, and we replaced him, and then he got injured as well, and then they were just like, all right, we're just going to rock out with 2. So
Cyprus, like, super physical?
Yeah, I'll say it's super physical, yeah, because skill-wise, it wasn't really, like, a very skillful league, but they did try hard for sure.
Definitely. And then from Cyprus, you go over to Romania for a couple games. What was that like? What kind of happened there that you left?
In Romania, I got injured. I sprung my knee, and I was out for a while, and again, it was kind of like an organization thing. They just didn't want to wait on me to get better. They wanted me to play right away, and I wasn't going for it, so there was some disconnect there.
There's definitely a lot of cases like that, you know.
You'd be surprised, brother.
Yeah. And then from Romania, you do go to Slovakia that year. How did you recover? Did you go back home for a while before you made the move to Slovakia?
So I went home for probably like, I'd probably say like maybe a week or 2. And obviously I did most of my rehab on my own. I mean, they sent me to the doctor's office to get like ultrasound and like laser therapy. But I was really just at home, icing, strengthening my legs on my own, just trying to get back right. And when I went home, I got a checkup for my knee, and they told me I was good. Everything was healed up. And like strength-wise, like I would go like to the gym and shoot around just to see how I felt, just to move around, and it felt good. So I was ready to leave when I got to Slovakia.
So what in basketball-wise is different about each country that you're going to right now? What's different about the game compared to when you were at West Virginia or at Tennessee State?
I think I'll probably say it's the dedication. Like, everyone has their own goals in life, and obviously when you're at these top-tier universities like West Virginia, or you're at a mid-major like Tennessee State, and you're playing a sport, like this is what you're trying to do. Like this is what you're focused on most of the time. Like obviously you got your degree and everything else, but if you're playing a sport 9 times out of 10, you're probably trying to make it to the next level. So you're really dedicated to your craft. And I'll probably say it's probably just the dedication to the craft. That's the difference that I'm still adjusting to. You work at it all day. Over here, it's just kind of like you go to practice for a few hours and then boom. Like it's just that. Yeah.
And you speak about dedication being a main factor, but what was something that you might have had to let go from your college days to kind of like survive out here?
I'll probably say I had to let go me being, let's say, quote unquote, spoiled. Like you having all the facilities, having all the resources, having training staffs that you're exposed to 24/7. That kind of goes out the window. So you got to kind of be an actual pro and do those things that you used to have on your own, because we've been doing this for a while now, so it's not like you don't know what to do, you know what I mean? So like you just have to take it upon yourself to actually take time out of your day to do the things that you need for your body and for your recovery, for your mental, for your game. That, you know what I mean, that just goes with being a professional.
Definitely. And like we said you were in Romania for those 2 games. You go Slovakia, Poland, and Romania again. Also another short stint. All these cold countries, you know. What did the weather, the cold in the winter, how did that affect you also off the court?
Man, bro, I'm from the South, so we don't really see snow in Mississippi. You know what I mean? If it snows in Mississippi, even if it doesn't stick, everything is closed. You know what I mean? So for me to go to Poland or Slovakia or Romania, man, it was a big difference. Obviously, like I had like a taste of it at West Virginia for the years I was there, and even there I hated it, but I had to embrace it. But I think it was just a simple fact that I've had a little taste of it in West Virginia, that I wasn't just super duper like just shocked about it. You know what I mean? But it was still terrible. Like, I mean, I don't like the cold weather.
Do you notice it affect your game at all or not?
I feel like it just took longer to warm up, bro, and that's what goes with being a professional. You just got to do more to get ready for the game, because obviously your body is still cold, your muscles are still cold. It's like what, negative, I don't know, Celsius. So like, you just gotta do what you gotta do to get ready for the game, bro. That's really it.
And then moving on to this year, finally some warm weather.
Right.
You know, you come out to Israel. Were you kind of like worried about what's going on here? Did you talk to some other guys about coming here? What was that process like coming to Israel?
So I did my research beforehand, but honestly, like, I've had guys play here. My good friend Tariq Phillips went to West Virginia, played for Jerusalem last year.
He's a bucket.
He's a dog. Carlos Marshall played for Netanya.
Hey, Chef Los, he came on the show.
Yeah, that's my little brother. Love him to death.
He's hooping right now. He's playing really well.
Nah, yeah, Los can hoop.
Yeah.
So I talked to those 2 guys mainly while everything was like so hectic last year, and I talked to Carlos more about it, and he was just telling me like, yeah, it's going on over here, but at the same time, it's not really as bad as people make it seem.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the war, you know what I mean? So like, I was like, all right, like, I've heard so many good things about Israel and the basketball culture there when it comes to like professionalism from the teams and the clubs, and this is like somewhere I want to go experience for, say, like my professional career. This is where I want to go, and now I'm here.
How important was that for you, that you heard such good things about the professionalism of the clubs?
It was actually very important, man, because I feel like it's very, very easy to find the wrong club, and finding the wrong club can make or break your career. Like, you can go with a team that's super unprofessional and things will go down, and at the end of the day, they're still going to be there after you're gone. So, like, whatever they say, regardless of how they treated you, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna stick. Like, and that's the sucky part about it. But yeah, it was very important. So yeah.
How do you stay confident in something like that in the professional world where there's so much uncertainty? How do you stay confident in your own game and in your journey?
Man, I leave it in God's hand, man. Like, when I get in a situation and I didn't know like the professionalism or whatever the negative things that are going on in that organization is going on, I just leave it up to God's hands, bro. I do what I can do. I control what I can control, and he ain't let me down yet.
What was harder, earning trust in college or earning trust in your overseas journey so far?
I would probably say it wasn't the learning trust in college. It was more so the believe in the process, like having trust in the process. Because again, like I was hooping in junior college. Like in high school, like my high school won 4 straight championships. You know what I mean? State championships. Going into junior college, my first year of junior college, I was balling. We went to nationals first time in school history, and so for me to go from like being a big piece of a team and like putting up numbers and hooping and like feeling real confident on the court to go into where it's more about the whole team as itself and like you have your role to play, it was just more so about trusting the process, bro. Because like I don't remember I think West Virginia is the first time I averaged like 7 or 8 points all season. Mm-hmm. So like that was really like, I know I can do much better, but it's also like it's not just about me.
And going back to the overseas, like what part of the overseas lifestyle drains you like way faster than any game can?
I don't want to say being professional, but at the same time, it's just always being on your P's and your Q's. Like when I'm at home and I'm with my people, like I'm chilling, like I'm vibing. It's more so vibing than I don't want to say the wrong thing to offend this person, or I don't want to, you know what I mean, say something that they don't understand it the way I'm trying to say it. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's just more draining. I feel like the language barrier is probably the cause of it. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably the most draining part. Everything else is, you can find your way around it. I mean, you got to expect everything can't be the same as at home.
Does the language barrier also take effect with the coaches that you play with?
Yeah, for sure. But I think it gets better when you actually learn the coach and you've been around them for a little bit. Obviously, like if you just meet someone, like the first month is probably going to be the toughest month to understand what he's saying and what he really wants, because he could be saying it one way, but the way he said it in English means a totally different way, like how I perceived it, because we just say things differently.
And you talked about like your first stop overseas was Egypt.
Right.
Very traditional, you know.
Right, very traditional.
Culturally very different. Mm-hmm. Was there one place that you kind of stopped, maybe that has reflected the state's culture like the most?
In Egypt?
No, I'm saying in your
whole career.
In my whole career?
Up until now.
I probably have to say it's between Australia and here. But I mean, I feel like Australia is kind of like a mini USA.
You played in the NBL?
Yeah, NBL 1.
Okay.
Like in the summertime, like, yeah. So, yeah, I'd probably say Australia and here.
What was the NBL like?
It was nice, bro. It was cool, nice hoops. It was very, very skilled, more finesse than physical when it comes to like style of play. Very fast, but it was nice and a good experience.
And you're talking about style of play being fast. Would you say the same thing for Israel as well?
Yeah, I think Israel. I mean, I'm in the second division, so I don't really know how it is in the first division, but second division, yeah, it's fast paced.
Do you like kind of also catch up with like all the EuroLeague games and like Euro Cup, maybe even First League, Winter League games when you're out here, or you're kind of just sticking with your own league?
No, I mean I tap into the EuroLeague. I really haven't watched many First Division League games here, but I tap into EuroLeague when I can. Is
there things that you learned from maybe EuroLeague games, or even watching other guys play, that kind of taps into your ability on the court?
I'd probably say I won't say it kind of taps into my ability, but I kind of just think about it and just be like, okay, this is something I need to take into consideration, that it's more X's and O's, you know what I mean? It's not always like, you know, in the US we play like one-on-one style basketball, like, you know what I mean, get to a bucket, use your space and da-da-da. But in Europe it's more so X's and O's. We're trying to get this specific shot for this specific player. We're running this specific play. So I feel like that's more so, thinking the game is what you got to take into consideration when playing over here, not just going out and just playing raw talent.
Diving a little bit deeper into the game, I want to do the myth or facts segment that we have, where we're going to present to you some myths or some facts, and you let us know which one it is, and you can expand on it a little bit. So I'll start it off. So first, myth or fact: import players are judged more on mistakes than makes.
I'll say that's a fact. Because from my experience personally, that you can go out there and you can do 20 things right, but if you do one thing wrong and that one thing probably cost you the game, or something that was just close to costing you all the game, it's kind of like that was the biggest problem. Not that you went out there and gave your hardest, or you're out there playing half injured, you know what I mean? So I think that's definitely a fact.
A myth or fact: if you're not a point guard, you're always replaceable overseas.
No, it's a myth. I've had multiple point guards being replaced on multiple teams I played for.
And how do combo guards survive that reality?
Honestly, I have no idea. You have to ask a combo guard.
So valid. Another one, myth or fact: coaches overseas would rather bench you than explain something twice.
It depends on what level you at. I've had coaches literally like, yeah, okay, I said one thing, you didn't do it, come sit down. But I've also been with coaches that give you a million chances, so it just depends on the coach. So
okay.
That's a hard one.
Moving on, myth or fact: defense keeps players employed longer than offense overseas.
Oh, man, 100%. 100%. If you, and that's one thing I pride myself on, I can guard 1 through 5, so I feel like that's very rare. So I feel like that's what kind of makes me a good piece. So I think that's a fact.
Is there a certain type of defense you think that actually matters?
You mean like...
like being able to pick up full court, being able to switch 1 through 5, just like you said?
Picking up full court is always great for any team. But at the end of the day, I think it just depends on your coach, what your coach wants.
Definitely. You want to run one more?
Let's do one more. Overseas teams sign imports expecting instant chemistry.
Again, that depends on your coach. I've had some coaches that come in and they're like, why would you throw this pass on me? He's going back door. But it's kind of like, oh, we locked eyes, so I thought he was coming for the handoff. But then there's other coaches who actually understand, like, this guy just got here, so you got to cut him some slack for about a couple weeks.
Right.
After that couple weeks is up, like after you get your little leeway for about a week or two, then they expect 100%, like how they want it and how they expect it.
So you think coaches really give you like a rough time of like 2 weeks, and then you kind of just have to pick up on everything?
Yeah, but I also think that's just part of being a professional. Like you've been, like when you're overseas, you don't have nothing to do but play basketball and think about basketball. So I feel like there's no reason why after you leave the court or after you leave practice, you're not thinking about how to be better, how to fit better with your team, how to be a better teammate. Like I feel like those things are just part of being a pro.
No doubt. And you said it, we talked about it a little before, but you're overseas, just like you said just now. You're here to play basketball, but you're playing basketball 3-4 hours a day. How do you kind of fill up that time for the rest of your day off the court, playing and living in all these overseas countries?
Man, I work on businesses and business ideas, and I also just try to find any gym that I can get into and get extra shots up. That's really it, and take care of my body, stretch, get on YouTube, type in a little yoga session, and just have at it, bro. Like that's really like you'll literally catch, like if we hang out, like you'll literally catch me just go over there and do like a calf stretch in the middle of nowhere, like mid conversation.
Yeah, yoga's huge.
I mean, yoga is tough, bro. I like the challenge because I wasn't very flexible in like college, so I've gotten better with that.
Ever get into a little Pilates action or?
Bro, so I tried Pilates one time and I thought it was gonna be like a breeze. Like I went in there, I had like
your legs are shaking.
brother, man. Listen, I went in there. It was like December, so it was cold outside. I was in the States still, and I went in there with a nice little workout fit on, had my hoodie on, thought I was just gonna do my workout and be done. Boy, that instructor sweated me right out that hoodie. I had no hoodie to walk outside with. Talking about she killed me. And I'm in there with moms. I'm in there with like 35, 40-year-old moms, and they're just in there killing me. And I'm just like, yo, I need to rethink this and come back.
I be getting invited to Pilates, and every time I refuse because I do not need to be humbled like that.
No.
I just don't.
Smart man, bro, because you're definitely going to be humbled.
Yeah.
So, you're here in Israel a few months now. What has been like the thing that you love most about Israel off the court so far?
The beach. It's going to be the beach, man. In Mississippi, where I'm from in Mississippi, you got to drive like 4 hours to get to the beach. And the water's not as pretty. So, like, every chance I get, I go stick my dogs in the sand, bro, and just sit there. So I'd probably say the beach. Outside of the beach, I'd probably say how... Honestly, the food surprised me. I've heard only good things about the food coming here, but I kind of didn't want to get my hopes up. But when I got here, the food was A1. I fuck with it.
What's your go-to?
I have a lot of go-tos, and I don't know the name of them. But... I know it when I see them. I've been to a few Shabbat dinners, and the way they cook the fish is amazing. Shawarma, I love a good shawarma. There's another one. I just can't think of the name.
Falafel?
Maybe. Is it the ball?
Yeah, the little balls,
So falafel, yeah. And, yeah, those are probably my top 3.
Yeah, and, you've really gone through a lot going from Mississippi, JUCO, West Virginia, and all the places that you played overseas. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of knowledge to give. What's some knowledge that you would give to a younger version of yourself trying to make it out? Man,
just really, really like hone in on controlling what you can control and just trust the process. You know what I mean? Just go with it. Don't self-doubt. Don't stress about things that are not in your control. It may not be how you want it to be right then and there, but if you just stick with it and do what you're supposed to do, it's always going to fall in your lap. Always. Always.
Well said.
Really well said.
So as we wrap up every single episode, we do a little shot clock segment.
Okay.
We're going to do like rapid fire questions. You can pass. You can pass. Just try and get as many as you can.
All right, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
One move overseas you never try anymore.
I'll probably say it's like a high pickup. Like if I go through the lane and high pickup and like cross my leg, it's hard to explain, but I just call it a high pickup. It's kind of like the one that Kyrie does.
Worst whistle overseas.
Oh my God, it's so many I can't even. I'll just pass that. That's tough.
First thing you look for in a coach?
His sense of basketball IQ, like just to see how he understands the game.
One thing you'll never miss?
Practice.
Favorite basketball movie?
Basketball movie? Coach Carter. Come on.
Favorite song before a game?
Ooh, Peepin' by NBA Youngboy.
Hell yeah. We went a little over, but it is what it is.
Well, appreciate you for coming on, man. This was awesome.
Y'all having me. For sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's do it again.
Yes, sir.